All right, so how do we hold gratitude for someone's healing when we wish we had more time to see it unfold? So I'm going to do this video and try not to say so many ums because I realize I'm really bad at that. So my mom was undiagnosed and untreated with mental illness and addictions until she was in her early 50s, which put me at around my early 30s of dealing with her in that way in my life, and obviously her dealing with it in her life. And we didn't know it then, but at 50, those early 50 years when she was dealing with that, she was less than 10 years away from passing. In 2017, I just said it. She received a terminal diagnosis of cancer in May and was gone by the end of July. So it happened very, very quickly. And I think that the anger that I felt after losing her, you obviously feel anger as part of grief, but the anger that I felt the most was that I was devastated for her, that she wasn't able to be alive longer in this space that she had created in her life, this healthier version of herself, the kind of living life the way she wanted to live it, the way that she'd been trying to get to for decades. She fought so hard to manage her mental health, and she was never sober, but she definitely managed her addictions in a better way. And her life was better. So by the domino effect, everybody's lives were better as well who had relationships with her. It was just a ripple effect, which is going to happen. And I was just so angry. I was so angry and so devastated for her because I was so sad that she only got to experience this for such a short period of time in relation to her whole life. And I was obviously sad and devastated for us and for my children. And, we were being robbed of having her in our lives, especially having her healthy in our lives, or healthier. So it was really difficult to deal with. I still deal with it. It's, we're getting close to the 10-year mark here soon. Like it'll be 8 years next year, 9 years next year. And it's really tragic. I really feel like it's tragic. And that's a big reason why I do a lot around mental health advocacy. I do feel that a big part of that delay for mom, timing is obviously something that has to line up. She has to be ready, and she has to want to, and she has to, have the energy and the space and the capacity to dive into everything and deal with it. Absolutely, that's true. But also, I think if the world were a little better at being compassionate and being patient and having awareness and education and listening to people who are struggling with mental health and addictions, then I think there'll be a lot less shame and a lot less judgment and a lot less apprehension from people who are struggling and who are thinking of seeking help. I think that stigma is still a big part of why people don't. And unfortunately for my mom, I think that it was part of the reason why there were years that were taken away from her that she could have lived in this better, healthier state. So hopefully we can, as a society, we can start to do better so that this can get better, ideally.